Oh, hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good day to you. Still here in Porto, and I don't know if you can hear it in the background, the chime, the ringing of the bells. It's refreshing to hear, honestly. I love it. And I'm on my way to the beach, to the Lighthouse. That's where we're going this morning. It's about a 4-mile walk, and I just started. And I was going to take you guys into the Franciscan church, but you know what? Those wonderful people, they charge. And you know how I feel about that. We're not paying. Look at this. Why would you have to when you can come right here? Look at this little spot. I heard the bells. Now granted, they probably have service, but let's take a look. First of all, a side comment. I didn't realize Portuguese people were so short. Just saying. Look at this little basketball court right here. It's kind of cute. With Allen Iverson. Wow. He was popular like 20 years ago. But look at this church. Who needs St. Francis when you have this puppy? Pedro de Cata. And look at this. We have our side streets right here. The hilly side streets of Porto. Although where we're going, it's not hilly. Little, oh here, this is cool. We'll go in church in a second. I suspect they have mass, so I'm not in a rush. But look at the little fountain we have right here. The little fish fountain. Isn't that cool? And then you can see parts of the old, seems almost like a castle. Well, that was an unexpected find. I didn't think I was going to find a church that one would be open, not having mass, and not charging. So I'm pretty stoked. So that's cool. Now we will continue our journey. This morning I wasn't down on this side of the road. I was up top, running along the river, which we'll be jumping onto soon enough. But Porto is an interesting place. Hey, look what we have here. Shops, vintage, and a bar. All three things in one. Exciting. Another little side neighborhood right here. I like these. These are cute. Granted, I have to go up top to do anything. And then you look at the distance, you can see stairs. Just tons and tons of stairs. We'll go this way. It's interesting seeing these apartments, these like older ones. I didn't expect this. And I think it's a contrast because when you look across the river and stuff like that, you see like the high-rise apartments, but then you look here and you're like, huh, so this is how it used to be. And it's not, and unlike like the downtown historic city part, I mean, where everyone goes for their beverages and stuff like that, it's very quiet over here. Well, aside from the thumping bass of, there's a dance club over here on the side that I ran by at 6:30 and then 7:30. A lot of for sale signs. It's interesting though. A lot of runners now. They're not a bunch of early birds like me. So we've now come to we're about a mile in. And I was going to show you, this was something that caught me by surprise this morning. And no, it wasn't these steps right here, although we can go down to it if you want to see, because actually this is kind of funny. So you can either run on this side where the tram is, or you can run across, we'll say, the bridge area right here. But you'll note that there's like the drainage, so you're really running on top of drains. So if you don't like seeing stuff, not a good spot. And I'm not going down too far, it scares me. Hence why I ended up running where my fellow runners are, which is on this side. Tram will go by right now. This is their vintage train one thingy. Cool little shot right there. Clearly these runners are a little bit slow. Well, they are, but they're also slow with, you see the object coming, maybe you shouldn't frickin' run into it like a champ. In the distance, you see one of the many bridges. And right here, this building, or what's left of it, was a hotel many, many years ago. I know, it's pretty profound, huh? All these details. That little tram, it's a historic tram. It runs from 9 in the morning to 6 at night. And it will take you all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. It starts from the center of town. Center of Old Town, we'll say. I'm sure they have different terms for it, but that's how I'll explain it. Now, granted, if you were taking the tram, you can look around you, but I find walking, I can take it in even more. Like, I passed a Michelin star restaurant over here on the right, saw some cute little bistros or more restaurants. I guess bistro is French, they don't have these things in Portugal. I guess what would be a tapa bar. And then found another church right here. So as you see the colorful buildings right there, and we turn and we look up, here's another church. Again, note the blue tile. Definitely common to this area. Very pretty. Very pretty. And now I gotta get back onto the beaten path. Now, I'll say this. It's a lot quieter in this part of town right now than the more, we'll say, touristy area. I mean, I was shocked when I was just leaving around 8:50 to just see like multiple tour groups already out. And I still have not gotten over the fact that the number of people that have cameras, have video cameras, I'm pretty sure most of them are American. Yeah. Stupid motorcycle club. I'll keep it like that. Taking away the serenity of the place, but right down from the church, you have a couple outside cafes, and more importantly, what I want to show you is look at the. I mean, these aren't the magnificent fall colors that you get in like New England, but you can tell it's fall. It's pretty. And then, of course, here's the water to our left of the Douro, and it goes right out into the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know if you can see it. You can see the headlight way down there, a couple miles away still, about 2 and some change, maybe more. But there she is. It's always different seeing a place in the sunshine, if you will. As we almost have gotten underneath this big bridge right here, they have something. There's a sign on the sign. There's a sign on the side that says the Porto Bridge Climb. And I look at it and I'm like, what? I'm like, are you climbing that thing? Because that's not on my to-do list today. Definitely not. Like, at all. Interesting here, we have like our campers. You can see them on the side. I had to cross the street because I'm sick of my fellow runners who think that it's okay to run 4 across like that. Anyway, I hate runners who are running on sidewalks to begin with, and you're hogging the sidewalk. It's a pet peeve because it's sort of like you don't own the sidewalk, guys. And then there's people on their bikes doing the same thing. Like, guys, get over it. So here's a good example right here, okay? So there's a guy next to me on the other side who's walking in their direction. And meanwhile, you got this frickin' dream team here who is thinking that everything is theirs. Frickin' pains. Now I'll say this, not every runner has my mentality, but I know I speak for some of us who would be in agreement. This is also why I run earlier in the morning, so I don't have to deal with that crap. Took a breather underneath in the shade for a moment, next to my new favorite artwork, because clearly we wouldn't be in a European city if there was no graffiti to look at. Oh, here we are, right here and right over here. And then there's like a crappy version of the Incredible Hulk on the other side of the building. Probably more importantly, the river, we're swinging around it right now. And one thing that you'll notice, which is really kind of cool actually, is how far, like, from the Atlantic Ocean, how far in they built the city, like the proper city, which I was thinking about this morning on my run, because it makes perfect sense. You don't want to put your, you don't want to put all of your trade, all of your buildings on the front line. That's what your fortifications are for. So as we get closer, well, when we get towards the lighthouse, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And it's pretty cool. One thing I've noticed, I noticed it in the other part of town, but also here too, it's like the number of like old buildings that are pretty much shut up, closed up, covered up. I wonder what the story is behind that, because I know, like, where I'm from in the States, a house like this, someone's gonna buy it, someone's gonna fix it up, etc., etc. So it's interesting. I wonder what the story is behind some of these structures. Like even last night, where I ate dinner on the terrace view, there was a building right across the way. The windows were all covered up. It's fascinating. Old fountain right here. The tram is coming back. I was gonna get out of the way. It's kind of exciting, kind of not. Don't want to get hit by the car either. So we'll cross the street. Jeez. I keep zigzagging because I'm trying to find ways to get less people, easier to show you. So just a few hours ago, I watched the tide go out, and it's interesting. After it went out, the wind that was here, it's pretty much gone. Another beautiful tree. My painted trees, as I call them. I really should figure out what their proper names are. And then again, look right here. See, you got like these dilapidated buildings. It's very interesting. I really don't know what's worse, all the runners right now, or the tourists, or both. So I'm telling you, like, I can practically hit my head on this, okay? And I'm 1.69, and I can reach up and touch this right here. I must be a giant in this country. Or at least I feel that way. Oh, God. Ugh, my park is spoiled. Spoiled. I was going to say, what I think I figured out what this reminds me of now. I am reminded a little bit of Jersey. The island of Jersey. Finally at a point where the wind has picked up some, which is nice, because honestly I'm like sweating more than I would have liked. So over there is a bridge. Maybe you can see it in the background. Go down that way. And then after you cross this point over here, you get a better view. You can maybe make out the breakaway where the two lighthouses are. If you would, they're not really lighthouses, but where you would leave the safety of the river and you'd go out. But and I was going to tell you about the angel right here, but these tourists, not that I'm not a tourist, but almost just got clipped by a cyclist. He probably caught me. But I was going to show you this image of this. There was like an angel. Anyway, these two people who are now taking their time around multiple pictures, because I guess it's important. I got stuck behind them. Yeah, I'm in a grumpy mood now. Grumpy mood. Trying to enjoy the water though. Here, I'll show you that. Won't dwell on the frickin' cyclists who now have decided that they're going to come into play too. Got a little bit of a harbor right here. It's interesting, when I came through a few hours ago, again, there was no one here. Maybe past 2 or 3 runners the whole time. But there's like I don't know, I think there's like a little restaurant over here. It was just opening up. People were getting bread. And other than that, no one was out. But now you got your people out at your 2 cafes. And, yeah. There's a comment. What's cool, though, for me, and you can see this right now in this glistening light on this picture-perfect morning, it's nice to be reminded that, like, Porto is a fishing community. Having, been raised in, like, seacoast part of New Hampshire and visited a lot of the fishing areas in Massachusetts as well, in Maine, it's cool to see that connection to the water. I do not understand why the cyclists are on this and not on the frickin' road. It's really odd. This Tesla, which you can't see because I screwed up the camera, but I wanted to point out there's a Tesla right here. He's trying to turn around. This douchebag, saw him yesterday, saw him this morning, and here. And I say that because he doesn't really care if there's people walking. He almost hit me yesterday on crossing a different bridge. Can't tell what that is over there, if that's a little chapel or what, or a little station. But one of the reasons why we did this walk, why I wanted to show it to you, is coming up right now. And it's not because of the water. It's because of this park right here and this part of town. It's very, very pretty. And if you don't get out of... If you only play the tourist part or only down there, you're not going to see this part. So this is why we're over here today. Us and every single runner in the world. The last time I saw this amount of runners in the morning is because there's a road race. And they don't have any of the numbers on. So I'm like, what the heck? All right, let's hit a park. A little extra bonus footage here this fall season. Look at this. This beautiful fountain right here. It's awesome. Now this park, you can tell, has some history to it. You can feel it. It's got it in its bones. I even like the fact you can hear the birds chirping. And it's nice on this mid-November day. Beautiful. See, when I think of Portugal, this is what I thought of. This is what I thought everything would look like. So this is nice. If you like miniature golf, they have a miniature golf course here to the side. And kick the ball. Interesting fountain right here. It's funny how certain parks remind you of different places. And this one kind of just reminds me of something from a movie. So while I'm sure I should be dwelling on the lighthouse, this is far, far cooler to see. What's nice too, just kind of being in this part of town, this park doesn't feel like it's a tourist hotspot. At least not to me. Could be wrong. Especially when I see dad and son kick the football back and forth. cool little market going on. Something. It looks like a crafts fair or clothing. Definitely clothing. I know a couple of fashionistas who probably would want to find a deal here. Meanwhile, I'm taken again by the colorful buildings right here of this street. It's a very well manicured street. And then there's that church up there just calling me. Yeah, I think this is what I imagined Portugal to be. Definitely not everything else I've seen. And I don't know why that is, because it's not like I've read a lot about the country. I know about its seagoing traditions, but it's about it. Oh, got spoiled by all these flats. Here we go. Up the hill we go. Chop, chop, chop. It's very quiet right now. I think mass is going on. I like, though, we're kind of at the top of the hill. Get the water in the distance. And then, more importantly, here's this church, this beautiful church right here. It's a cool spot. It's cool they have all the saints, or different versions of Mary, I think, on the side. Very pretty church. With the fortress in the background over there, we've made it to the Atlantic Ocean, right here. And not a minute too soon, let me tell you. We're going down to the beach, guys. That's right. There's really only one thing to do. Primarily because there's fewer people here. And I want to show you a different vantage point of that lighthouse. Or that light head, I guess we would say. I don't know if it's a proper lighthouse. Ooh, real sand. It's a little bit... It's not very easy to walk on. Jeez. God, there's like a mountain lion that was over here. Maybe it was that dog that was carrying the stick, the branch. Now look at this right here. Is it just me, or is the way the lighting is hitting these rocks? They look a bit surreal. Now, there is actually like a proper beaches here and stuff like that, where I don't think we're at one. I mean, not like I don't know. Maybe this beach is popular in the summer. I have no idea. But even though I live where the Mediterranean and the Atlantic meet, it's not the same. I think there's something about being here on this part of the Atlantic Ocean, and I know like so many Portuguese fishermen went across to where now is Rhode Island and Massachusetts, that I feel like there's a connection here. Where I went to college, predominantly Portuguese. And in case you're wondering, the water is not as salty as I would expect. Whoa, crap. Holy crud. Alright, my shoes just got soaked because I didn't plan ahead. Awesome. You win, ocean. You win. I do love the sound of the waves, even though they tricked me and got me wet. But I will say, I know we're in Porto, but the most beautiful water that I've been around, at least for like the beach, because of the low and the high tides, is Jersey. So if you're like a beach guy and you want it to be pretty level where you're not fighting the sand sinking into it and just enjoying walking across large vastness of beach to go from one location to another, it's a cool spot. Yes, I know I'm advertising for Jersey when I'm in Porto. Could be because there's less people. It's pretty though, pretty here. Now directly out where you see that candy cane, all the fishermen have been out for hours catching who knows what. You got the oil tankers in the background over there. Cruise ship comes in over here to this side, at least it did when I was here this morning. I watched it come in. It was right off the coast. You know, I don't mind having wet shoes. It's the socks that bother me. The socks. What did Lieutenant Dan say to Forrest? Change your socks. You know, whenever you can. Don't let your feet get wet. That's how you get sick. That's how you get sent home. Something like that. You have like a beach area right between the two walkways. The one that's the seawall itself. That gives you the open way to navigate from the ocean down the Douro River. That's where all the fishermen are. And then on the other side, the one where we are, we're walking towards the headlight. The lighthouse. The motivational piece for any romantic story. And could this look any scarier right here? God. Oh, he's this guy down here. I don't know if you can see him. He's spearing, probably looking for. I was gonna call it. I think it's like an orchard. Orchard? I don't know. I watched some documentary on it over in Sicily with Anthony Bourdain. Maybe it wasn't Sicily. It was somewhere in Italy. And they were diving to get stuff, but he's walking around with a spear, so who knows? Who knows? So down there, I don't know if you can see in the distance, see all those high rises, and then more beach. And then here we go. Here's the lighthouse, guys. Something different. Not sure if it was worth the walk. You know, thank God I know a little bit of Polish. There's these group of guys right here. There's like 6 of them. Polish tourists. They want to take a picture in front of the lighthouse. So, guess who took the picture of them? Yep, this guy. And I even responded, talk. That's right. Amazing, huh? Amazing. This lighthouse, I was trying to see if there's any like cool vantage points of it, but honestly, the best looking part is the part that has this ugly little white thing in front of it right here. So this is it. This is it. More importantly, here are our Polish tourists. Yay. I don't know what it is with, on a side note here, I know a lot of Polish people that have been to Porto who absolutely rave and love this place. I think you only love it because the sun is out, especially this time of year. That's where we came from. It's where the ocean attacked me. Little view over here. And yeah. So that's why we just did a 6.2 kilometer walk one way to show you this. Hope you guys are happy. Hope you had a good time. And I'll see you around. Peace. You know what, guys? With my wet feet now, I think I'm just going to stay here and cry a little bit.